Whoa, whoa, whoa. Didn't see y'all there. Scared me. You caught me. Yeah, folks, you caught me. I've been working bees this morning, finally. It is the 2nd of March, and I've yet to finally get in and really assess my bees. It's been a long, about 4 weeks of getting some time off and it being bad weather. Getting some time off and it's raining or cold or need that time change. That'll help me, but finally. And I've already been in the bees. I set up my queen builder. I'll show you that. So it was a ferocious time out here with these bees. I wanted to work them Thursday, but the weather was, it was that weird weather where they're trying to cluster, but they're not all the way clustered. They were flying a little bit. It was like 50 to 55 and just cloudy and overcast. Just got done raining. I just decided not to get in. So I set this up the other night and put my cloak board in, and it was a disaster. I had bees everywhere. It got dark on me. It didn't go as planned. So today I just got out here to make sure I didn't hurt the queen. She was in the bottom like she should be. So that's my cloak board set up, and that's how I'm going to raise my queens. The bees are quite tense today with this cloud cover and this cool weather, but I have to get in them. So far what I'm finding, decent colonies. I'm just going through them, and it's just that time of year. They're always testy because I haven't been busting through them. The propolis is still very, very tight, and I'm snapping frames as best I can not to, but it just happens. And oh my gosh, they get angry this time of year. Then you turn around and have this terrible weather. The oaks are already putting off their blooms. We got pears and plums. I explained in a swarm video, that's a good sign that their nectar is coming in. That missing puzzle piece I talked about, the nectar, once it hits hard. It's a matter of 10 days to 2 weeks at the most, and you can have swarm cells everywhere. I'm not gonna be surprised if I find a few on some of the larger ones, but so far the colonies, remember they came out of winter kind of weak, they're actually in a nice place. 6 to 8 frames, both top and bottoms. So here we are, we're in this colony here, and she's got brood all in here. I'm just getting ready to put her back together. She's looking good with brood, full box of bees on the bottom, and I'm gonna go in the top and see what they've done and show you. Now, I'm gonna warn you, this GoPro 8 that I was gifted, I thought the bees didn't like the 4 Plus. Wow, they hate this. I guess, I don't know. It's maybe it's putting off a different type of energy. I don't know, maybe it's the color. All I can tell you is it's ugly. So let me go through real quick, show you what's going on. I'm in a good place actually with these bees, but the nectar's coming in, so I've got to be very, very vigilant. That missing puzzle piece is no longer missing, and they can be swarming at any time if I don't keep an eye on growth. But right now what I'm seeing is fresh brood going in, and a lot of it, which is good. It's a good growth period for March. I mean, splits in 2 weeks, perfect. So as I said, the bees are a bit ferocious. They just haven't been in a while. Nobody's been breaking through them. And so it's causing them to, every time I snap a frame, no matter how lightly I might snap it, see, like this one, they hate that. But I just want to clean them out, break the propolis loose. Boy, they get ugly. Look at them on there. So I could smoke the camera and they come right back. I may have to change cameras. Now this is a very heavy box. All right, it's going to be useless recording on this camera. They do not like this GoPro 8 for whatever reason. It is awful. They're bad enough on the other one. They're not on me as bad as they're on this camera. I have smoked the pheromones off it. They're stingers. They stick stingers into the rubber piece. So I'm gonna go get my other camera. Heading back out. Let's see if this one does any better. The sound on this is not quite as good, and the video isn't. It's the same 1080. I can't shoot the other one higher than that because I can't edit videos efficiently. But the video is a little better on that one. The mic is not as good, but sometimes this mic acts up. But let's see if this helps. Maybe it'll help some. They'll still get after this one, but For whatever reason, they cannot stand that camera. They have a lot of honey in the top. I do have some extra frames if I have to purge some of this. They're not happy. Here we go. Let's see. I've seen a few drones, cells between them. Didn't see any mites yet. I'm sure I will. We got actually quite a few frames up here with brood. I probably ran her back down with that smoke. There's some queen cups. Not enough bees to worry about swarming yet. I'll start seeing those cups every single inspection now. That's a nice emergence of brood there. Let's see if she's backfilled it. This is it. Yeah, she's backfilled it. It's full of eggs. So she was probably on this frame and probably ran her down. Same with this side, completely full of eggs. Oh yeah, she's going to work. They pull them out. I'm not seeing any mites on them. That's a good sign. I'm going to slide this entire nest over, that honey frame back in on the left side, take some of this propolis off, try and clean them. And the propolis I really want to clean is just the stuff in the frame rest. There's a lot of them. So what I might do, this is a nice empty frame. Stick this in the middle. Give it to the queen. Stick this here. And give her a little spot to put some brood in there. Alright, let's calm these critters down. Make a note. Probably be able to split this one in 2 weeks easy. So that's a good looking colony. We're going to go ahead and move on to the next. So after stirring all the bees up, this is what we're looking like on the front. Very active. The sun popped out a second ago and that really got them going. When it's overcast, they just don't do a lot. And now they're just all stirred up. Anyhow, I do want to graft tomorrow afternoon and get them in my builder, which I'll hopefully explain. If I don't explain it this one, I'll explain it in another video for sure. I will make sure you know how I'm doing my queens. Same as I've done the last 2 years. So over here, same way. The bees really came out when that sun popped out for a little bit. Seeing plenty of fresh nectar. That's that missing piece of the puzzle, as I explained. And I mean, they're rolling. They are rolling. These bees are really getting after it. That nectar, when they've got that pollen that kicks that queen off, once they get that nectar rolling in and they know they can leave that colony behind with some queen cells and nectar rolling in plus whatever's in the colony that they leave, man, they're gone. So if not for my colonies being behind, you know, everything works out for a reason. It's kind of a blessing. It was a blessing in disguise, I guess, that they were kind of weak, because with the way the weather was and my job and not being able to get in the colonies, if mine would have been super strong going into the fall and going into the winter, I could have been in a bad situation right now. I feel blessed that nobody swarmed once that nectar kicked off. But hey, everything happens for a reason. This was another possible one to graft from. He was a good queen. I don't remember if I reversed this box or not. Some of these I did go through to an extent. There's some pollen, nectar, fresh nectar. When I reversed and stuff, so the propolis ain't that bad. More pollen. Bee bread is huge. There's some drone brood going in. Of course, we're looking for swarm cells. This is all regular brood. What I like to call milk brood. Looks like a puddle of milk in the bottom. That's world jelly with an egg sitting down in it. Which should be ideal to graft from if this was one. I got to look at the history on some of these before I say I'll graft from them though. Yeah, beautifully laid up frame. I'm just going to leave it like it is. This is one that'll have to be split. I can tell you right now, this one will be split. Yeah, she's nice. Nice, nice. And she's the other one I was possibly thinking of grafting from. Another thing I look for is she going back and relaying as soon as they emerge. I'll tell you right now, this colony has grown, so she does do that, but let's look. And she might be one I graft from. In fact, all eggs. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. I want to wait until I have cells to split with, I really do, so hopefully I can get some grafts to take. Because this thing will be one that we want to split, and I like to split with a cell. This is a good frame to graft from here actually. She's backfilled it and they've already grown out. Yeah. So, what I'm seeing here is a colony that's getting ready to really explode. She still has room. No danger of swarming in the next few days. I get another week or two out of her. Keep an eye on her next week. Flip the box up. Make sure I don't see any queen cells. But she is laid up. Good deal. All right. I'll have to mark this one. This is a splitter for sure. Probably pull a nuke off of some of these too. I'm going to put this in the middle since it's wide open. Give her some more frames. And we're done. You hear a lot of folks talk about starvation this time of year, and with good reason. My last video, well, not the last one you'll see, but video I made before this weekend said something about starvation territory, and that's where we're at. Those bees are growing and brooding fast. There is nectar coming in, but it's got to be, you know, it can run out really quick on them. So if they're light and they don't have a lot of stores, the nectar they're bringing in could possibly not be enough for them. I don't sweat it in about 2 weeks. But right now is a weird time that we had a red maple surge. That's where some of the early swarms would have come from if the colonies were built up. Then we go into a slowdown with just some stuff flowing. Then we hit these everywhere. There's wild cherry, there's pears, there's plums. You see them all down the roads in the woods. A lot of these cooking pear trees grow wild. That comes, and it comes in pretty good, and then that stops. And then we don't see anything until toward the end when the blackberry finally rolls through. Starting to see blackberry bloom, but if it doesn't roll in fast enough, then we get back into that territory. So it's an up and down right now. So the light ones, I mark them right now. All right, this colony's loaded. Talk about kickstarting them with that pollen sub during that red maple. I think I did. And then the natural pollen coming in as well. Whew. This is one that's got to be split. I'm not going to dig in this one anymore. So I didn't even look in the bottom. They're getting rambunctious. I wanted to go through a few extra frames. They're fine. So much going on at the house and all that, we ended up getting a Butler. A Hive Butler. That's right, it's something I wanted for a long time. She took care of me. I got one from her, and I didn't listen to her, and I got the vented lid because I was thinking swarms. If I see a swarm, it'd be nice to have this thing in the car with some frames, throw a swarm in it, call it a day. There's so many other features of this thing. I have to look at the card and show you, but these things are pretty cool. Now, is this something a commercial person would use? Most likely not. Sideliner? Possibly. Hobbyist? Most definitely. Nice tote to put frames in. I've been wanting one for a while. That's why I wanted to do it. It wasn't a matter of just going to get one to review. It was a matter of I wanted to have one and see if I liked it. Are they pricey? Sure, they are. But it's quality material. It's going to last. And it's very versatile if you buy the entire kit. I bought the vented lid. But if it was robbing season, I wouldn't want honey frames in there that I'm transferring back and forth from colonies. So I'd want the solid lid. But this is the vented lid, and this thing is pretty nice. So to go in more detail about the thing, it's got locks on each side. It holds 10 frames. I've been swapping, I've been swapping frames out. I took this frame out of a colony, I could put it in here. I brought some foundations out in case I needed them. I got some drawn comb in here, and this would be great for my car. I won't have them all flying around, and I can put more than just I can in a Pro Nuke. This will go great in the back of the truck, fits in the trunk of my car. Something they make besides just this, and this is solid, you can use it to catch swarms. They got the one that's a honey uncapping tank for honey frames, and it nestles in here. It's got the screen, and then it's got a honeygate down here. But you can take the one with the honeygate, just adapt it with a vented lid right here, and use that for your swarm catcher, because you shake the bees in, put the lid on, open the honeygate, they go in the honeygate. You turn right around and use it as a uncapping tank. You can use it for storage. Another thing that they really started when they first started this company, I remember them advertising it as a way to harvest honey. You could put 10 frames of medium frames or deep frames in there and throw them on a truck or trailer and take them back one at a time. Of course, you want the solid lid. So it's very versatile, very nice little piece of equipment. And I've been wanting one for a while. I did look at the price and go, well, I don't know. But then when I saw it in person and felt it, and felt the quality and saw the different uses, of course, it's a one-stop shop, kind of buy it one time and you got it. I like it so far. It's very easy to grab with one hand when it's full of empty frames. I can carry that and the camera and everything and walk out here, so I do like it. The Hive Butler. We got a Butler, and it's a Hive Butler. She's not paying me anything. She's not asking me. She didn't approach me. Nobody approached me. I'm not an affiliate, anything like that. Any product you see me do, I'm an affiliate with nobody. Nobody. I don't get a coupon code, anything like that. It's stuff that I try, that I want. That's why I turn a lot of people down that want me to review stuff. And I'll be honest, maybe that's why I only have good reviews, is because it's stuff that I want. And then I tell you about it because it's stuff I like. Again, not a how-to video, how I do for sure. But y'all, I'm letting you know stuff that I like, companies I like, products I like. And, you know, take it with a grain of salt. Don't bash me if you don't like it. Now, say a person's got a couple hives somewhere, they're going to go visit. It's great for that. But, you know, I got a lot of hives over there. If I need to bring a lot of frames, I'm going to bring deeps full of them. But just to keep that in the truck with 10 frames in case I see a swarm, I got my bee vac. I can vacuum them up, put them in there, put them in a cool spot in the shade, and leave them till I get ready to go home if I'm at work or something like that. To have it with 10 frames instead of a bulky box with a lid and a bottom, which I used to slide around the back of my trunk, or 2 Pro Nukes flipping and flopping back there. Very, very nice product. Check her out. It's the Hive Butler. I don't need the honey capping tank, and I don't necessarily need the honeygate. If I do, I can put one in it, but I think I'm going to stick with one with 2 different lids. So this one ended up being stronger than I thought. I went through the bottom box. It really needs replacing. The top box definitely needs replacing, but it's stronger than I thought. I said it was weak. Now, that one I know is weak. It's weak. This one is full of bees and brood and rotten holes. Bottom box is really rotten too. This box is terribly rotten. So I got to at least get the top one out. I might replace the bottom one later. I did need to show you this weak one. I say it's weak. There's bees in the top. It's full of honey. There's actually quite a few bees. Let me smoke them. But see this box rotten? You can see the frame rest. Let me throw some smoke to them. They're growing out pretty good, but you can see all the frames are dropped down below the frame rest. So what they do with all that space, they built drone comb. And I see one mite right there. I don't see any more mites of those. That's good. And of course, look, this is what happens when you leave them. So got to clean all that up, get this box replaced. The top one's good, but this one is shot. Let me go get a box, and I'm gonna get this thing replaced. might be weak, but they sure are loading up some brood. And it's starting to rain. It's not supposed to today. Nothing new though. I haven't been able to work bees forever. We're working them anyway. Wow, they're bigger than I thought. I guess they're not so weak after all. I believe that the beekeeping season has begun in earnest. I'm not so sure they're actually weak. I thought they were weak. Yeah, I think we got a good colony, but this is a lot of honey. I'm gonna have to put some empty frames in here. But I gotta clean this drone brood off now that we've got this thing fixed on the bottom. I got about 3 other boxes to replace here soon. Some mites. There's a little mite right there, and then there's one on the wood right there next to that drone. But yeah, that's where you see them at. Maybe a spring treatment regime, I don't know. I hate to give them what I have. I have Apagard, but that shuts her down, shuts the queen down. That's not what we want right now. Sun came out, the sky's turned blue out of the clear blue. Is that right? Nonetheless, the bees are really getting after it now. The hives are moving. Pollen rolling in still. Yeah, good stuff. Not only are they not weak, it's gonna probably need to be split. That's the top box I thought was full of honey. Yeah, it's got about 4 full frames of honey, and then the rest is brooding bees. So yeah, here's a colony that was weak. I had some fondant on them. I'll tell you that Hive Alive really did a nice job. I really believe that additive is good stuff. Also, of course, we all saw the pollen I put on there, but look at the white wax up there, meaning they're drawing it out. I just saw the queen. I'm not going to pull too much. She's on the frame on the left, but this is loaded with eggs. And look at the white wax, meaning they're just now capping all this. So this has come in just recently. They're loading this frame full of nectar. So we have got to get a box on them. We're going to get a deep on this one. But the growth is incredible once that nectar comes in. This has happened in about 2 weeks. Really 10 days, because the red maple shut down, and then we had a week or two, and then we had this. Well, of course, we had wild mustard and stuff out there, but this little spurt of nectar, in addition to putting that, you know, so I believe that spurt of red maple with the pollen patties really did a number. And then we had this, look at them go, we had this little bit of a flow come in, and they have flat sure gotten after it. So I'm gonna get these put back together and stick a second beep on them. But really, I'm starting to like the Hive Alive, what I've seen and how well the boost I get from it, how well it is. And they're not a sponsor, remember, I'm affiliate of no one. But I like the stuff, and I don't know. It between that and their pollen sub with the Hive Alive in it, I think it's good stuff. This thing has really grown good. Found my first colony with swarm cells, and it's not a huge colony. Maybe they swarmed. One looks opened, but I think I ripped it. Let's take a look at what we got. Yeah, that one, I think I ripped them. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 uncapped. I'm sorry, capped. And these, did I rip this open? Let's see. They're still working it. We know their cells on 1, 2, 3, the 4th, the 5th frame over. That one's gone. So what we need to do is split it. Now, this is unusual for this colony. While they were a decent colony when I opened them up, I think the issue with these were there's so much honey in the top. They were honey bound in the top. They were just operating out the bottom. There's little brood spaces in the top, but not much. And they grew, and that was probably during the red maple. I'll have to go look at my notes and see exactly what was going on with this one, why. I do think I knew it was strong, but it must have hit its stride during that flow. That pollen kicked it up a notch. It hit its stride during the red maple, and I guess they grew big enough to to where when this next flow came in, they're ready to roll. So we caught them in time. I'm gonna see if I can find the queen, and what I'll do is make a split. I'll move the queen somewhere, I'll leave the cells where they're at, and that'll simulate the swarm. So I'm gonna go hunt for the queen. When I find her, I'll turn you back on. No reason to take you frame by frame. You've been there before. Let's see what we can figure out, and we'll get a split made. Well, folks, you're back in seconds, but it's been minutes, a lot. I went all the way through the top, bottom, back through the bottom, back through the top. Couldn't find the queen. Sat down, looked at my frame that I had the cells on that I pulled to the side. She was walking around on there. So let me show you what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna simulate a swarm. This, okay, so I know this looks like a lot of bees to you, but it's really not. If you were here, you'd understand. If you could see down in, it's not a lot of bees. You notice don't have a lot of cells either. She don't have a ton of brood in here. She might even be to the point of maybe even being pollen bound, and there's a lot of honey at the top. I'm gonna move her, and I'm gonna shake a bunch of bees over to her so she gets a bunch of nurse bees. These bees are crazy. They're crazy right now. But I'm still gonna shake a bunch of bees, put the cells in that box, leave that there for them. They got some brood that'll come out. They got some brood. We're gonna see what they do, make a split. This one will need to be honey taken out and some empty frames put in, but I'll wait. I'm just gonna move it right over there, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. I would have never suspected them to swarm. I mean, they don't even look like they got a lot of bees. Look at these frames. I mean, not a lot of bees on them. I want to leave more brood with her. Get off of there. Get off of there. I want her to have more brood, them to have more brood, because she can lay brood. And one more. So, put the cells in here carefully. That's it. Oh, it's got too much honey in it. I'm gonna leave these here. They look like a lot, but it's really not. They don't have the frames covered. Here's where our queen is. I'm gonna let her go. I wouldn't be surprised if she flies, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. But hopefully she goes down in there, stays down in there. Go on. See how she's tiger striped? All right, she's in. I'm gonna put this on. And I'll tell you why I'm concerned. So here's the deal, folks. I go in there, I look at them cells again. I see one of them has got a little chew mark on it. I thought maybe I hit it. Then I look and I notice another one has got chew mark around and the cap flips open. And you know, sometimes them caps flip open and they flip back. Looks like a queen has emerged already. Is she unmated? I don't know. She was acting kind of funny. She was hard to find, but then again, they run them down before they swarm too. But that colony should have never swarmed based on the notes I got on it. It was like, there's others out there that I would think have swarmed, and they have no signs of swarming. That thing has got cells already. Very unusual. So I went ahead and I just split them. We'll see what happens. I'll watch this one. And they're gonna need a second box because all the field bees are back there. They look like there's a lot of bees, but there really aren't. They're just bulling up. The frames aren't covered. I'll let them settle down. Let them settle down. I gave her a bunch of shakes of bees because I want her to have nurse bees. If she's unmated, well, then she's gonna have to go out and get mated, and we'll watch that one too. There were eggs in there. There were eggs and larvae, so if something happened, they'll make a queen. So we're set either way. We're early enough now. If we have to do a walk away, we'll have a mated queen in time to really work. But then again, that wasn't the greatest queen, so I don't know. So there you go, first split. The most unlikely one I would have thought to split. That colony right there, But hey, they'll fool you every time, so whatever. We're done. I've gotten a good deep look into everybody, wrote notes, know where they're all at, and it started, folks, big time. What do we see today? Well, I saw a lot of major growth. I'm happy with that. Pollen sub, that was a global pollen sub from Hive Alive. It had Hive Alive mixed in it. I'm very pleased with Hive Alive. The fondant Every year the hives I've put them on, those colonies have been very robust coming out. And I can say the same this year. This year I put the pollen sub on with Hive Live on everybody, and we saw a really good increase. And that was right as the red maple was flowing some. We saw nectar. That pollen sub really grew them up really well. Super good growth out of some that I didn't expect to grow. So that was good. And just good growth across the board. So seeing some good robust colonies, seeing some that, you know, they got a little ways to go, but that's great. We'll build up into supers with them. Several that need to be split. One that needs to be split ASAP. I'm gonna try and push it until I get sales. If not, we just gotta do a split. What else? We saw good growth. Happy with that. Pleased with what I'm seeing. I don't see a problem anymore. I think we've popped through that little slump of slow colonies. Now we watch them grow, keep them from swarming, and start building them up. Building some nukes, increases, so we can fill the empty spots on all the stands. Got several that we're going to split. That's going to do it. I'm going to go in. I got some stuff to throw in a pit boss. But look, I really appreciate you guys watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. Probably going to be a long one, but hey, we're finally getting some in-depth assessments. The weather ended up turning out nice with blue skies at the end. The bees are still ornery, but that's how they are this time of year. Busting through those colonies for the first time, really digging deep in them, and they don't like it. But that's all right. They'll calm down as we go. The season is on, folks. Hey, I want to thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed it. It's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I do bees. Y'all have a wonderful week, and may God bless you. We'll see y'all later.